Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will explain the procedure of analysis of two-hinged parabolic arches. So this video is only for getting an idea about the analysis of two-hinged parabolic arches. So what are the procedure? What is the general procedure we adopt while analyzing the two-hinged arches, and what are the formulas that are required in the analysis? So those will be explained in this video. So coming to the first step in the procedure, the very first step for the this procedure is only for the parabolic arches. So the first step is to calculate the rise of arch at various points. Okay, simply I am writing rise of arch. Okay, simply rise of arch at various points in on the given arch are calculated. Okay, so wherever the point is given, at that point we have to calculate the rise of arch. So parabolic for the parabolic two hinged arches, for the parabolic arches, the rise of arch can be calculated by the formula y equal to 4yc into lx minus x square divided by l square. In some textbooks you may have 4yc into x into l minus x. Okay, so the x is taken outside as common. Okay, so in this formula I have multiplied inside, so anything, no problem, the formula remains same, y equal to 4yc into lx minus x square by l square. And also one thing, that yc is the central rise, which is indicated as h in some textbooks. Okay, if you refer some any other textbooks, the indications may be different, but overall formula will be similar. 4yc into lx minus x square by l square. Yc is the central rise, l is the span of the arch, and x is the distance from support to the point where we are calculating the rise of arch. Okay, this is most important. X is taken from the support to point where we are taking rise at the arch, and L is the overall span. So by using this formula we can calculate the rise of arch at any point. And the next step, so after calculating the rise of arch at required points, the next step is to calculate the support reactions. So to calculate the support reactions, I mean that only vertical. Okay, so vertical reactions can be easily calculated by using the equilibrium equation sigma v equal to 0 and sigma m equal to 0. So the procedure that we adopt in the simply supported beam for calculation of support reactions, the same procedure is adopted here also to get the vertical support reactions. Okay, at the hinged support we are having vertical and horizontal reaction, but in this step we are calculating only the vertical reactions, and there is no direct equation for finding out the horizontal reaction. Okay, so the vertical reactions can be found out by using equilibrium equations. So this is also very simple step. So these two are simple steps, and coming to the next step, so we have to find now the horizontal reaction or thrust. Okay, so for example take horizontal thrust, this is also known as horizontal reaction. So we have calculated the vertical reactions, but now we have, in this step we will calculate the horizontal thrust. So the formula for calculation of horizontal thrust is h is denoted by the horizontal thrust is indicated by h, and the formula is integral mu x into y dx divided by integral y square dx. So this is the formula which is used for calculating of horizontal thrust, and this formula is derived in the previous video. Okay, if you haven't seen that video, as usual the link will be in the description. From there you can watch that video, the derivation of this formula. So by using this equation, so this formula, we can calculate the horizontal thrust. That means we have to calculate the mu x value for different segments. Okay, for different segments we have to calculate the mu x value and multiply that obtained value with the y. Y is nothing but rise, so this is the y, this value is the y, and whatever the value we have obtained for the mu x, the entire value is multiplied by y, where y is obtained from this formula. Okay, this is the formula we have to multiply with mu x and integral y square dx. Okay, y square means square of this term. We have, on integrating the square of this term, we will get the denominator term. Okay, so generally we will calculate the numerator term separately, denominator term separately, and we will divide the numerator with the denominator in order to get the horizontal thrust. Okay, so this is the most complicated part in the entire analysis. Okay, so if we are able to calculate the horizontal thrust, okay, if we are able to calculate the horizontal thrust, then rest of the steps will be just substitution only. Okay, so rest of the steps will be easy and it is only the substitution. Okay, so we have up to this step we have got the vertical reactions and horizontal reaction. So now the next step will be calculation of moments. Okay, moments in the arch. Okay, in the moments in the arch, the formula is m equal to mu x minus hyx. Okay, so in this step we will calculate the moments in the arch. M is the moment, final moment which we are required to calculate, and mu x is the beam moment. Okay, for example, if this is an arch of AB, now we have to treat this arch and we are having some loadings on it. Okay, this is an arch of AB, span is L, and we are having any loads on the arch. We have to treat this arch as a simply supported beam, that means a straight member, and we have to draw it like a simply supported beam. The loadings will be similar at the respective distances. Okay, at the respective distances the loads will be similar, and now for this condition we can calculate the moment at any point. Okay, so we can calculate at this point, this point, this point. Okay, for the simply supported beam the moment can be calculated at any point, and that moment is termed as mu. Okay, in some textbooks it is denoted in some other way, but in this procedure I am denoting it as mu. So the mu value can be easily obtained by multiplying force and the perpendicular distance. So you will get mu value, and that mu value is placed here minus h. H is nothing but the horizontal thrust which is obtained in the third step. In the third step you will get the horizontal reaction or thrust. The same value is substituted here, and yx is nothing but raised at the point where we are calculating the moment. Okay, for example, if we are calculating somewhere at this point moment, then the raise at that point will be the yx. So this y is obtained from step 1. Okay, so now we have known all the terms in this formula and we can calculate the moment in the arch. The next step is normal thrust and radial shear. Okay, so normal thrust and radial shear. So normal thrust and radial shear are also easy to calculate. Normal thrust is generally indicated by P. The formula is h cos theta plus v sin theta. So this is the formula for normal thrust, and radial shear is indicated by F. So this is minus h sin theta plus v cos theta. These are the two formulas which are used to calculate the normal thrust and radial shear. Normal thrust is P and radial shear is F. So in these two formulas, h is, we know the value of h which is obtained from the third step, horizontal thrust, and for coming to value of v, this is nothing but shear at the point where we are calculating the normal thrust. For example, if you want to calculate the normal thrust at this point, so consider the same point on the beam, and at this point we have to calculate the shear force. Whatever the value is obtained here as a shear force, the same value is substituted in the place of v. V is nothing but shear force at the point where we are calculating the normal thrust. So the shear force can also be easily calculated in the simply supported beam. Okay, by following the appropriate sign conventions we can calculate the shear force at any point on the beam. So you know h value and v value, and theta will be calculated on the by the formula. So we have another relation for calculation of theta. So tan theta equal to dy by dx. So by using this relation we can find out the value of theta, and from, if we know the value of theta, we can calculate cos theta and sin theta. So this relation indicates dy by dx, that means d by dx of y. Okay, dy by dx means d by dx of y. So the y value is obtained from this formula. So on differentiating this entire equation, okay, so on differentiating entire formula you will get the value of dy by dx. Okay, so we have to differentiate both sides with dy by dx. d by dx, and whatever the value you have obtained, so we can calculate from there, we can calculate the value of theta. So you will obtain the value of sin theta if you know the value of theta, and you will obtain the value of cos theta. So by using this sin theta and cos theta, substitute the values in the corresponding places in order to get the normal thrust and radial shear. So if you know the value of h, v and theta, you can calculate the normal thrust and radial shear easily just by substitution. So these are the important 5 steps which are required in the analysis of two hinged arches. So as I have said earlier, so the third step will be the most complicated part in the entire analysis. Once if we are able to calculate the horizontal thrust, the rest of the formulas are just substitution only. Okay, so this is all about the procedure of two hinged parabolic arches. So in the next video we will try to solve one numerical problem on the parabolic arches. Thank you.